Oliver, Mr. Oliver's resource page. Mr. Oliver, Mr. Oliver, Mr. Oliver's resource page. Mr. Oliver, Mr. Oliver, Mr. Oliver's resource page. Oh, hold on, y'all. Got something in my teeth. My bad. Yes, Unit 5, Lesson 12 homework. How y'all doing today? It's good to see everybody. Let's get right into it. Like I said, it's Unit 5, Lesson 12 homework. Today was really all about adding decimals. So the first thing we want to do is I want you guys to take down and write these down. These are kind of like the definitive steps that you're going to use when adding decimals. The first thing you want to do is line up the decimal points perfectly. Okay, everything on top of each other, the decimal points should go all the way down, straight down vertically. Okay, second thing you want to do, fill in any zeros where necessary. Okay, what I mean by that is, if let's say one number has 3 placement values, the other number has 2 placement values, and then the other number has 4 placement values. What I like to call is adding these zeros is what I like to call balancing the decimals so that everything has the same amount of place values. Okay, so yeah, then just treat it like it's regular numbers. Just treat it like it's regular numbers. Just straight up add. Okay, add the numbers how you would do regularly from right to left. All right, and the last step you want to do is place the decimal point in so that it lines up vertically with the numbers added. So place the decimal point in the sum, like place the decimal point in your answer straight up vertically. Like your problem should go all the way down. Let's say you're adding 2 numbers. You have the number on the top, decimal point here. Number on the second, decimal point there. And then your answer. Everything should be directly in line. Okay? Those are your 4 main steps for adding decimals. All right, y'all. Now let's put some of this stuff into effect. We're going to be adding some decimals, but the first thing that we actually want to do is estimate the sum to the nearest whole number. Now, I hope you guys remember how to estimate because we did that in Unit 5, Lesson 7. But the first thing you will want to do is identify the placement value that you are actually estimating to. In this case, it's going to be all whole numbers. So we're going to look at our whole numbers, and we're going to be looking at our tenths place. In our tenths place, depending on whether our tenths place is 5 or under or 4 or less, we'll make it to whether we raise or if we raise or lower our whole number. So in this case, our first number that we have is 9 32/100ths. So either our 9 is going to soar or rest at 9. And I'm looking to the right at the tenths place, and it's a 3. And since 3 is 4 or less, we're going to let that 9 rest. So it's going to be 9, and then you get rid of all the other numbers, so it's just rounded to 9. Now, 12 7/10. And we're going to look at our ones place, which is a 2. Our 2 is either going to soar or it's going to rest at 2. And that depends on our next digit, which is a 7. Since our 7 is greater than 5, that makes our 3 soar up, and that turns it into 13. So right now, if we were to estimate our sum to the nearest whole number, it would be 9 plus 13, which equals 22. So we do all that so that even before we do our decimal addition, we know for a fact that our answer should be around 22. So if we get something way off 22, we did something wrong. But anyway, now let's go ahead and add these decimals. The first thing we want to do, we wrote our steps down. Line up those decimals perfectly. I'm going to use my placement value chart. So you'll see 9 32/100ths, and it'll be right on top of 12 7/10. Now we need to look and see and think, okay, do we have any, is it balanced? Do we have the same amount of placement values for both numbers? And you should notice quickly that you do not. 12 7/10 has 3 placement values. 9 32/100 says, oh, I'm sorry. Actually, they do. They have the same amount of placement values, but we need to balance it in the sense so that they have this placement values in the same places. Okay, So we're going to add a number. We're going to add a 0 in front of that 9 so that 9 and 12 are balanced. And then we'll add a 7. We'll add a 0 after our 7 and 12 and 7/10. And that'll make it so that it's balanced on the right and the left. So we had to add 2 different zeros to balance our equation. Now that we balanced it, we're ready to straight up add. And let's go ahead and do that. It's going to be a 2 plus 0 equals 2. And then 7 and a 3 in the tens place, that's going to equal 10. So we drop our 0, raise our 1. So then we got 9 plus 2 is 11 plus 1 equals 12. So we drop our 2, raise our 1. And I believe that's going to make us with a 2 in the tens place. Okay. So hold on one second. So if we did everything correctly, our answer should be 22 2/100. All right. And we know that should be a pretty accurate answer because our estimate said that it should be around 22. So when we got that answer, it should be good. All right, y'all, let's do this one more time. We got 2 more numbers. This is 124 89/100 plus 37 4/10. So we got those in our placement value chart, and let's go ahead and estimate the sums first. In our ones place, we have a 4 because it's 124. So either our 4 is going to rise to a 5 or stay at a 4. So let's look one place to the right to that tens place, and there's an 8. That 8 means that 4 is going to rise to a 5. And so right now we would round 124 89/100 to 125. Let's take a look at the 37. We have a 7 in our ones place. So that 7 is either going to soar or rest. In this case, when you look one over, it's a 4 in the tens place. So that 7 is going to rest. And so right now, both of our estimates are 125 plus 37, and I think that's 162 when you add them. So that's kind of like our estimation right now, and hopefully we'll get something around that when we add. So now let's really go ahead and add our numbers. 124 89/100 plus 37 4/10. We need to add those placement zeros to balance them out. All right, now we got them balanced out, and now just start from the right, add everything up. And after you add everything up, you should get 162 29/100. All right.
4 tenths, hundreds, thousands, to the right, tenths, hundreds, thousands, placement value, tenths, hundreds, thousands, to the right, tenths, hundreds, thousands, placement value, tenths, hundreds, thousands, to the right, tenths, hundreds, thousands, placement value, tenths, hundreds, thousands, to the right, tenths, hundreds, thousands, placement value. 1 tenth equals 10 hundreds equals 100 thousands. Yeah, we getting. 1 tenth equals 10 hundreds equals 100 thousands. Yeah, we getting money. 1 tenth equals 10 hundreds equals 100 thousands. Yeah, we getting. 1 tenth equals 10 hundreds equals 100 thousands. Yeah, we getting money. Tenths, hundreds, thousands, to the right, tenths, hundreds, thousands, placement value, tenths, hundreds, thousands, to the right, tenths, hundreds, thousands, placement value.